My friends, those that are looking at our website, the ACIO official website. This is the official ACIO resource sanctioned by Peter the Insider in the ACIO 12th Division. This information is copywritten, trademarked from 2022, ACIO official, and so we have privacy, we have content here, all of this content that we have here regarding our associates, our team, our database of content, worldwide military corporations. All of this is unique content of Peter the Insider, and anyone that is referring to this content must cite the location of where they received it, and also to keep things in its proper context instead of trying to reinvent our content, which by copyright and trademark, no one has permission to do so. So we're noticing that people are, have not been, not everyone's interested in our content, but as of late, people have been so interested, they have been literally reading our content and not citing that it came from us, but citing that it came from themselves. And so this is not obviously very professional. Anyone that does anything like that is not professional. And obviously, or meaning to mislead or deceive the public in any way, it's not a correct thing to do. And because eventually people figure out that you're trying to take credit for someone else's information. Now, it's not even my personal information. This is information that's coming directly from the ACIO through Peter the Insider. And we have pages of content specific to Peter's knowledge. All of this data came from the databases of Peter's information. So let's we appreciate to be respectful, to be honest, to have integrity, and to not misuse our content. There are those that think they're going to disclose us, and yeah, well, there are still laws that you cannot just misuse information. Notice that we have corporations with a positive influence on humanity and corporations with a negative influence on humanity. And here we are stating that we're not promoting these corporations. We are sharing information that people would not otherwise have access to. And so, as I said, we are expecting people to be professional, have integrity, be honest. Unfortunately, not everyone has content. They're trying to jump into disclosure and using other people's content to validate some of their work. Just like if you're writing a news article or doing anything, it's called plagiarism, and it's not appropriate behavior by any means. And if anything, it's going to make people question whether or not you are a legitimate reporter, person of disclosure, anyone that is trying to bring forward information. Slandering people is not professional. And of course, people are going to make their own decisions, but we're just asking people to respect our content, not take claim for the information that is coming from a specific source. Peter is very busy. He's a very busy person, but I am working directly with him, have been since 2017, and would request that if people are going to cite it, that they do not distort the information. If they're going to read from it, that they would cite that this is where it's coming from. And that, as I respect everyone else's opinions and their views, then I'm asking that in return on the behalf of the ACIO and the multiple divisions of the ACIO. We are asking that people maintain a level of professionalism and respect. So thank you. This is our website. Keep in mind this is copyright and trademarked information. And anyone ever has any questions about it, they can always contact us. Here's our contact information. And that's it. So have a good day.
Thank you for tuning into the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Arael Marrocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and interdimensional seer. Together, they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources. Make sure to post your questions and comments below. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. We have an update report from Peter the Insider where we're going to be discussing some topics regarding new things that are happening according to the ACIO, new sightings of a few different species that we might be familiar with or maybe not familiar with, but I think for the most part people will sort of recognize what we're talking about, especially those that got into Bigfoot hunting and some of these other types of animals that are unexplainable and strange sightings of creatures and so forth. So let's, without further delay, we're going to get into that with Peter the Insider right now. Hello, Peter. How are you?
Thank you, Jessica. Let's say hello to all of our regular, maybe not so regular listeners. So, I decided to make this show because those sightings, recent ones, during last 3 or 4 months, they are crazy, they are booming all over the world. It's not like one location, one country or small, once it is small country or once it is big country, small location. No, it's booming all over the place. Literally all over the planet. And we encountered wide variety, new, different species in the first place. And in the second place, yes, we are seeing species or beings, I don't know how to call them, I don't want to humiliate, or make any affront to the form of existence, to the ones they were very seldom, very rare, and now they are all over the place in the first place. And so on one hand, but on the other hand, the stuff is that those reports, it's not by, some people want to be famous and they can say some random, I will be, like familiar, like blah, blah, blah stories, so random stories. Those are sightings by validated witnesses, so military personnel, do you know what I mean? Or people, I don't know, from police, you know, fire department or whatever, or rescue department. So someone who don't want to be, or let's say who don't want to say, I don't want to say nonsenses, but who don't want to say lies, because from time to time, those people are getting to polygraph, what means lie detector. And being, I mean, once those people are saying, I mean, as ACIO, as organization, we are getting those reports. And lie is pretty much something like, for example, once people are drinking too much alcohol, smoking cigarettes, or taking drugs, I mean using drugs. That means once you are lying constantly, it is, quotes and quotes, making some sort of marks within your brain waves. Do you know what I'm trying to say? In the first place, and of course, any specific tonus of your, or let's say within your muscles. And that's the stuff. Those people know that they can't afford anything like that, because they will not pass lie detector and they will be fired from their jobs. And that's it. And that's the thing what scares us, I mean, us in ACIO the most. Like, because if it will be, you know, from some people, let's say, quotes in quotes, random people, or, you know, next door people, like, nah, someone wants to be famous, or someone wants to be like in tabloid, they're saying nonsense, or they are saying nonsense, is somebody in neighborhood wants to be famous in neighborhood, you know, we will say, we will consider it, we will think about it. I mean, sorry, it, that means about being a witness of something. But once more than 80% in certain areas of world, 95% of those sightings are from that kind of fields, army, you know, police,
Right.
you know, and all kind of that stuff. It's like, holy crap, this is something we should consider as very serious. And that's the problem.
They don't usually put it in the news. A lot of those reports are kept within the military, and
Yes.
it's similar to when these pilots would see UFOs. They weren't allowed to talk about it, so that they'd be written down in a report, and then even sometimes certain time periods or certain branches of military would, you know, say, or maybe even the corporations, you know, so you have a pilot that says that they observed a sighting, and then I don't know, that I guess that they don't approve of them saying something like that, and then they force them to have some kind of psychological evaluation, or kind of under scrutiny, or saying you need to say that that didn't happen or you're going to lose your job. So they really don't want that information getting out, or it's been really discreet. But, you know, in the early 1900s, people were much more open, and you would see articles like this all the time, that they were observing unidentified objects, or observing some type of humanoid-looking creatures walking around, Bigfoot, the Yeti, and anything that just looked really strange or out of the ordinary. And I have seen different footages of people, that just random people that have caught some of these things on their cameras. And it is very, very interesting, because the way that our world is right now, something's wrong. And that part that's wrong is that we have, I won't call it an invasion per se, but we have a presence of those things that are unexplained. And the ACIO has been observing these things for a long time. But then there's kind of new variations of it. And that's what you and I were talking about.
Yes. And to be perfectly honest, this is not my field of expertise, because, I am, quote unquote, home. That means, I know a lot of things about different topics. So what do you think about, I don't know, for example, Bigfoot and Yeti? In the first place, okay, they are what? They are kind of real, quotes unquote, relatives to people, or not?
They're sort of humanoid in a way. I mean, you can see almost like they walk like, a primitive man in some way, but obviously with all the hair and everything. But that I guess early man was recorded to have been more hairy, and kind of there was like different time periods, way back in history, that supposedly there was the evolution. But we have many humanoid-looking types of creatures that we've discussed, that they sort of look like us, but they're not us.
Yeah, and so sorry for interrupting you, but I just use those two terms, and once we are talking about those two species, definitely they are not the same, but are they kind of close relatives? I mean, the Bigfoots and Yetis. What do you think, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're of the same type of species. And I made the comparison, which might not be the best comparison, as like a dog and a wolf. Obviously, they look
so one
different.
of them are more, it's not more wild or whatever.
Well, yeah, I said that, with the dog and a wolf, the difference is obviously the dog is domesticated and not as feral, but you can see the similarity in their body type and some of the behaviors and things like that. And so you see a similarity between these, furry looking kind of creatures that sort of have humanoid attributes, and they're roaming around in kind of remote areas, whether the Bigfoot's in the woods and the Yeti is in the Himalayas, or at least more up north.
Yes, because most sites or sightings of I mean, modern, quotes in quotes, modern ones during last 3-4 months of Bigfoot were from also called Alaskan or Alaska Triangle. I think we can
why don't we show some of this?
Yes, we can show it. Yes, we can show it.
So we had
no, it's fine.
I'll get it. Here is the Alaska Triangle, and let me open that up. So they've been sighted here in the Alaska's Bermuda Triangle. That's what they're calling it.
My bad. Yes.
And you can see the region. It goes from Anchorage over to Juneau, and it covers part of the Yukon, a segment of it. You can see this, right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. And And yeah, this is the area. It's kind of a wilderness area, it looks like. More planes went down, hikers went missing, Alaskan residents and tourists seemed to vanish in thin air. In fact, since 1988, more than 1,600 people have disappeared in the Alaskan Triangle, with a missing person rate at more than twice the national average. I wasn't aware of it. We hear about the Bermuda Triangle, but we hardly ever hear about this.
I mean, you never heard about the Alaskan Triangle?
No, I haven't, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I knew. I mean, sorry, my bad. I mean, I heard. But to be perfectly honest, I didn't knew the numbers. I mean, the details. No, I didn't. My bad.
And here you have, it says, these disappearances are blamed on everything from severe weather to aliens to swirling energy vortexes to evil shapes. Look at this, demons.
This is it. Look, this is it. Swirly energy vortexes. Bam, we've got it.
Yeah, but also evil shape-shifting demon of Slingit, Indian lore called Kushtaka. But the most likely explanation of these many missing people in the wilderness itself. Within this area are dense forests, craggy mountain peaks, massive glaciers, hidden caves, and deep crevices where a downed aircraft or lost hikers might easily be hidden and then covered by snowfall, hiding any trace of human activity. The harsh landscape is also filled with wild animals and subject unforgiving weather, including avalanches. So, I mean, they're saying it's pretty much because of the weather, but you and I know that there's something going on here that's abnormal. Energy vortexes are thought to be swirling centers of energy concentrated in a specific area. The energy radiates in a spiraling cone, shaped clockwise or counterclockwise, creating positive or negative effects. Some places where positive vortexes are said to exist are Egyptian pyramids, Stonehenge, the Sedona Desert, and sacred temples and cathedrals throughout the world. Alternatively, negative vortexes spiral downward and a clockwise. So it's talking about the vortexes, but in humans, they are believed to cause health problems, depression, nightmares, disorientation, confusion, both visual and audio hallucinations. They are also said to cause electrical instruments to malfunction. Some places that are said to be filled with negative vortexes are the Bermuda Triangle, Japan's Devil's Sea, and Easter Island. But they're magnetic anomalies. Is there because of underground bases or anything like that in that location, Peter?
Technically, there are only three underground bases, because there were plans for multiple underground bases, plenty of them. But the problem, I mean, underground in Alaska, problem was that those, I don't know how can I call them, weird, powers, or I don't know how we can name it. The workers simply that strongly refused to continue to work on the sites, on construction sites, that they even didn't start to dig other than those three underground bases. And if you can see, just please roll up, please. Yes, and I am talking about the one, they are down below southern than Anchorage, because there are three bases. Yes, three bases. Because it's like, what the heck is going on here? It doesn't make any sense. It's nonsense. But there were those weird, like the sounds, the vibes, everything, like, you know what I mean, like anxiety, nausea, or whatever. It's like, it doesn't make a good vibe. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And I know I can say it right here, right now, that after Second World War, there was, by American government, it was said there should be multiple, I mean plenty, as I said, of the underground bases. But and this is the problem. Officially they said, because I mean the official reason, sorry for that, is that why they stopped the constructions, that it is a harsh climate, right? But
Right.
it isn't.
Yeah.
It isn't true. It isn't true. I saw. I mean, I read those papers, those documents. I saw those audio recordings. I saw those videos, and those people were goddamn, like, they were confused. They were like, no, I don't want to talk about this, or I don't want to even hear this name, I mean name of the word of the project again. No. And it's like, no, it is big no for them. I mean, it was not big no, and even not for the workers, but for people they were there. So but give me, so that's the stuff. And the stuff is, or let's say the situation is, it is not only within, I mean inside Alaskan Triangle, but let's say I think it was Athabascans, I mean local Native American people, because they know, and they call them Karduk. It's like bad spirit, because they woke up bad spirit. So this bad spirit, Karduk, hunt them down even far away from Alaskan Triangle. That means they were far away. Do you know what I mean? From the border, and they were like, no, this is not gonna end well. No, this is no. So I'm just saying.
What does the ACIO have a record of any alien species that might be living in the
yes, they were there. They were there, and nobody was able even to fly over this area. Nobody.
Who is they? Which ones are they? Which ET race?
Sorry. We count at least 120 different species.
Is there a reason why they're in that area?
No, Jessica, please. They don't know. Everything went to malfunction. Everything. Once you are not only within, like, how can I say it, being on the ground, like, but I don't know, like flying. It's crazy. It doesn't make any sense. It's literally like Bermuda Triangle. it's like, holy crap, what's going on? And this is it. If it's be like us, we've got limited technology, I will be like, you know what, screw it. It's us. But they've got, very highly advanced technologies. And even, I don't know, TR3, Lockheed Astrolocus TR3, it's like, holy crap, this is such a highly advanced stuff. Nah, for them, it's nothing. It's like, for us, it's like something from, I don't know, like the time once people start to know, people know how to make a fire, or they got, this is a wheel. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And that once they, for that kind of enhanced and advanced technologies, the ones they cannot avoid the problems, and they constantly crashed, it's like, holy crap, I don't know.
And I noticed that they're usually triangles, like a TR3, right? They're all these, like the Bermuda Triangle. They're shaped in that size. I mean, does that mean that there's something that's actually shaped in that size underneath it?
Do you know what? Yes, because they are saying us, plenty of alien races are saying us that, how can I call it? It's Veen. Veen, do you know what I mean? Like, once you've got a Veen and you have a needle, and you will get it a needle. Do you know what I mean? Like some sort of dose of, I don't know, injection. So yeah. Weens of Earth are, quote unquote, triangle shaped or whatever. And once something is wrong, or not necessarily wrong, but weird, then bam, it is on the surface. Do you know what I mean?
Not fully. Explain that a little bit more.
It is something like thrombus, for example. Thrombus, that means something what is very dangerous, and you need to put all the time, all the day, till the end of your life, you don't know what I mean, the needle, because once this thrombus will go to your wings, you will die.
To your wings? Is you saying wings?
No, ween.
Can you spell that word, please?
Thrombus.
Is this it right here?
Yeah.
Colloquially, that's for blood, but I did see one earlier regarding gravity.
Yes, and this is it. Give me a second. This is something once Earth is having a problem, and this is like, I don't want to have this inside me or within me. It's just like, look. This is my problem. This is my problem, and this is the stuff. This is my problem, but you caused this problem. You, I mean, like the civilization. Do you know what I mean?
This is a chart of a diagram, what it looks like when you have a thrombus, but I don't know. There's a little bit of a parallel here, because we're talking about people that are getting sick. With the CVD issue, and it's blood issues.
I don't want to talk about that. It's your stuff.
Okay, but I'm just saying it's a comparison. But what you're showing is that it's creating this kind of pressure or blockage, right? It's like a blockage.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Or I guess in that other case, it's the blood thickening. But
normally it is 3 to 6 months. But there are certain cases you can't get rid of thrombus for rest of your life. You can't, simply.
So you're saying that that is in the around Alaska?
Not only Alaska, please, no. All those quotes in quotes triangles. All of them, okay? All of them.
Yeah.
So pretty much most famous or most well-famous, it's like Bermuda, then you've got Alaskan, then you've got Australian, then you've got, what is it, Japanese, but it's like not Japanese, it's like Chinese, because it's like Chinese sea or whatever. It's, you know what I'm, that's it.
There's even a triangle in Massachusetts.
Yes.
There's works with missing people and strange creatures showing up. So it's like they create a field, the ETs, and then they try to keep people out of there. And then one way to keep them out is to have people disappear.
Yes, you are right, because those people, and they are teleporting people out of there because people will simply disappear without a trace. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So recently you discovered this species that looks like a werewolf, but it doesn't have hair. That's how you described it.
No single fur, nothing. No.
And you said it was similar to, and you discovered this through this video game called Quarry.
No, please, a second. It was vice versa. We got tons of sightings and reports of sightings, and then, and I don't want to fool you if it was July. No, it was June. Start of June this year. So 2022, and this game came, I mean, what was released? Give me a second. When it was released? Hey, I'm.
Okay. Let me look at the 2022. It came out.
Yeah, start of June. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously they're working on the game, but these creatures had already been here, but you started to get more. They've been here, but not too many of them, and now there was more of an influx. Is that what you said?
Yes, because pretty much all of the creatures we will talk about next were here for a long time. I'm talking about like not hundreds of years, but thousands of years. But they are here. Sorry, they were here very seldom. Let's say here and there, but last 3 or 4 months, like, what in the world is going on here? That's crazy. Absolutely.
And so just to do an overview of this video game, it's about a summer camp, right? And these people called the Hacketts that run the summer camp, and they have these creatures that are showing up that look sort of like werewolves, but they look more like pan creatures.
Right? Yes, and just by the way, the creatures we are experiencing right now are definitely not werewolves, because werewolves can be killed by silver bullets, silver ammo, and those beings can't be. So that's the problem. One more problem. Yes.
And you see what they look like. I mean, they're weird looking, right?
I mean, do you know what? They give me a creepy vibe even looking at them. Like, holy crap.
Yeah, they do have a creepy vibe.
Yeah.
What's interesting for those people that follow celebrities at all, this was started by I guess, let's see, where's the characters here? I'll come over here. Nope. I think it was David Arquette, and then there was some other people, actors that got involved in this. Yeah, this is Ted Raimi, which stood out to me. He's been in like some of the scary movies, and David Arquette, who was in a lot of movies. Apparently, he was a former wrestler. I didn't know that. And so I also looked up some other things because, as you know, people have heard of Teen Wolf. Some people don't believe in that there's any kind of wolves or anything, but they have done quite a few shows about werewolves. And Teen Wolf, which was very interesting and revealing because it talks a lot about different types of creatures that they encountered. And of course, Twilight, which was really popular. This is for those people who don't believe they exist.
But be honest with me. Are they real or they are just urban legend? Werewolves.
The discussion of werewolves have been talked about for thousands and thousands of years, and it goes all the way back to the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is ancient Sumeria.
I know.
And where Gilgamesh was turned the previous mate into a wolf. So you have a humanoid wolf situation. You have the children of Mars, who end up becoming being nursed by a female wolf creature, and there's also a Nordic folklore. So I mean, if it's fake, it's been talked about for many years. 1521, the Frenchman Pierre Bergot, Michel Verdun allegedly swore allegiance to the devil and claimed they had an ointment that turned them into wolves. There's been sighting. Here is Peter Stubb, who was a 15th century farmer in Bedburg, Germany, was supposed to be a notorious werewolf. You have shapeshifters, you know, the legend of shapeshifters and different locations. There's also the wild boy from a German forest, who they said really wasn't a werewolf, but was a child that had this Pitt-Hopkins syndrome. But and you know, just a lot has been written about it for many years. The Beast of Gévaudan, which is talked about in Teen Wolf, is supposed to take place in Occitane in France, and associated with a man-eating animal
So from your point of view, it looks that it can't be completely the fake or whatever, false flag, whatever. I mean,
there's so many unrelated. Yeah, there's so many unrelated incidences around the world and throughout our history that it shouldn't be disregarded. Even like when people don't know, it's like they see something, they don't know any other way to describe it other than it has specific attributes. And if you find something that looks somewhat humanoid or like a wolf, I mean, here in this case, it looks like, you know, a regular wolf, but maybe there was something odd about the wolf. It just didn't look like it was normal. And that doesn't look like a normal wolf, the way that they made a picture of it.
Yes, definitely. That's clearly wolf. Yeah, definitely.
It's a wolf, but it looks kind of odd. Now, the creatures that we looked at,
sorry, I need to interrupt you. Sorry, this is like I need to interrupt you here. So, according our previous discussion, I mean, previous once we started to record this show, we got to conclusion that because look, werewolves looking creatures, I mean absolutely werewolves looking creatures, but with lack of any fear. So
fur, yeah.
Fur, sorry, my bad, fur. And in the first place, werewolf looking creatures first place, no fur. Second place, but and no bullet skill third place. So you said that's, I mean, those are clearly pen or pens, and they are, you said, from Pluto, you said?
Yeah, there's a Pan. I have seen Pan many times. I know he came from Pluto. There's different creatures on different planets that, you know, make up our galactic world, you know, our experience and multidimensional experience. And I've known this for years, that the Pan creatures had resided, whether they're originally from there or not, but they have been coming from Pluto and then jumping into our space, which some people might say, that's how do they do that? Well, I mean, there's a lot of creatures that have been here that are from, you know, far away or from a distance.
But technically, even they are, I don't know, like in some sort of disharmony, because they shouldn't be here, right? Originally.
Correct. They shouldn't be here, and that part is you know, kind of concerning. Some of the attributes of these pointed ears, and let's see, where's that picture of that the werewolf? Take a look at the werewolf here. There's like the pointed ears, the sharp teeth.
Yes.
Yeah. And you know, there's different variations, but I knew immediately when you were talking about it that they were from Pluto.
Yeah.
Pluto's done some weird things too. I mean, you know, we were not identifying it as a planet anymore. It was kind of, I think it was moving. It was doing some odd things, but I think then we had the discussion of the fact that these creatures might have come through like bleed-throughs from a few different possibilities. One would be CERN. Another one would be from the metro reality, when you were traveling back and forth in metro reality. And a third could be
the problem is that it's from everything is through this crazy shitty wormhole, because somebody is maintaining this wormhole in how can we call it, operable statement, what is very, very bad in the first place and dangerous. It's dangerous not for, because, you know, we are small, we are just a little spit, you know, of our saliva, human saliva, in huge Pacific Ocean, I mean our planet. It is crazy big problem for all the huge universe, and those individuals, whoever they are, they really cannot. Oh, look at that in the right in the right color,
the mask.
Yeah,
they
cannot comprehend, from my point of view, they cannot comprehend all the risks.
And do you see this right here, Peter? The battle with Typhon.
Oh,
we talked about Typhon.
Oh no. Everything is completely circling together. It makes complete sense. Nothing is coincidence.
If you look up here, you know, they mention how Pan is connected to the Earth. He's been here for a long time. He's been here, and they also refer to them as satyrs. So here is
Satyr is or should be who, please?
Similar things. See the pointed ears? They're very. I could compare them a little bit to Jinn, but they're even more like decadent. There's absolutely no limitation to their sexual activity, and so they're very immoral creatures, I guess, compared to, you know, how humanity would live. Associated with Dionysus, and Dionysus is another problem. He's
What
been
do you
very
mean like
present
problem?
here.
Why problem?
Because he acts as if he sort of shapeshifts. He comes in as if he's like someone of light, but he's not. And he also can go in and out of being a male or female. And he is.
Hey, please give me a second. I all the time till this moment believe that he can be only a male. Oh.
He has sort of he's pretty much in between a male and a female. Like here they show him, he clearly looks like a male, you know, physique, but he is somewhere in the middle, and he is definitely a trickster. And
Tricksters,
it's similar.
tricksters are bad. Tricksters are bad.
Tricksters are bad, yeah, and he likes, you know, it's winemaking, everything that has something to do with like this religious ecstasy. So he combines belief systems with you know, it's almost like the cults. How the cults get into, they start off as, oh, we're spiritual, we know everything, you know, I'm gonna be your leader, I'll guide you, and then you find out later that that leader was molesting underage people, or forcing the adults into sex, or telling partners to swap, or you know, something really bizarre. And that's the energy of Dionysus, and that's the energy of these Pan things.
And give me a second. You said. I mean, once we started this recording, you said that what gave, or pretty much what this giving, all the gods their power, that so many people believe them. I mean, sorry, my bad. Believe in them. And is that the true?
If you do a ritual to some of these beings, then yes, they will pretty much they own you then, you know, because you're asking them for something, and there's always an exchange. It's never like, oh yeah, I'm going to give you a gift, but you don't owe me anything. There's no such thing like that, not even in our reality. And so when you make some kind of agreement, or do some kind of satanic ritual, or you want to do some kind of god worship to like a certain type of god, you know, that maybe was considered pagan or whatever, and you know, you're saying, I'm aligning with you, and I'm allowing you to possibly use my body. And so those they welcome that. You'll become open, but you become sort of in their control.
Aye, aye.
And so and it's interesting because now we have people saying that they're pansexual, you know, and like that's an orientation.
What does it mean? Please, what does it mean? What does it mean?
I think the definition of pansexual means that you prefer male and female, or like bisexual, but I might be wrong, and I'm not going to get into that because it's not about that part of it, but it's about mostly the influences, because these things have been going on for years and years and years, and like it, now we have definitions for different things, but it's been going on for thousands of years since these pan beings have been around in the satyrs. It's been a very, very long time, and I believe they exist pre-human existence. I think they're much more ancient.
Yeah,
But you can see that they're sort of humanoid, and of course Dionysus looks like he's, if you put a dress on him, he could look like a female. You can't
definitely
tell. So yeah. So we'll take this, and I think going back. So getting back, there's the satyrs, and they talked about ancient Greece, but here again, they've been around for a very long time. And
give me a second, please. In ancient Roman Greece, right? What do you think? Was it that, immoral? The reason why everything fell down, I'm not gonna say the ultimate reason, but one of the reason, like one of the main ones. What do you think? Wasn't it some sort of, let's call it punishment, like universal law? Do you know what I mean? Punishment for it?
Yeah, there's people that will contend that the destruction of Rome was because they did get really bad. If you know anything about Caligula, he was pretty bad. But I will also say too is that when you have a society that is only thinking about pleasure, or like things that feel good, and they don't want to deal with reality or truth in other areas, that they're not protecting themselves. And I think if you're drinking or doing drugs or whatever, you're not going to be prepared if someone comes in and invades. And so from a military perspective, they weaken themselves.
That's true. That's very true. Yeah.
They weren't responsible, and it's like, people say, well, certain societies, they don't have a lot of food, but then you see that some societies are more productive than others. Some work harder, and they'll create things, whereas others are more sedentary, and they just only want certain pleasures. And so you can't, should be a balance in all things. There's responsibilities as well as, being happy or having some type of pleasure, or being able to take a vacation, or being able to, engage in a relationship or whatever, but there has to be a balance. And when it goes out of balance, it goes into these type of energies where, you can actually become addicted, and it gets into a whole other issue. But the influence of these beings being here at this time makes a lot of sense, because you have people talking so much more about sex and their sexuality than I can even remember. It wasn't like a topic that was in mainstream media, and especially the curriculum that they have, wanting children to be more sexualized, and why children need to know about sex in kindergarten is like their body's not even developed at that point. Doesn't make any sense.
So sorry for that, but I need to reflect that. I was like, what in the world? It's time for that. I don't know, like in between what, like 13, 14, whatever, and it's like, no, chief kindergarten. I was like, hey, stop it.
Yeah, so those things are definitely influencing our world. It totally made sense when you said that, and it's something that needs to be completely resolved, or else
out. Well, no, not resolved, please, not resolved. Wiped out. Jesus.
Yeah, so that's part of the problem. I'm going to divert now because actually I just want to say something quickly on a side note. So we have David Arquette was in that show. I don't know what his connection was to want to bring in this show with the I guess maybe it might have been a career thing, but is he involved in it? It's interesting. He's got this weird clown picture here on his t-shirt.
Yes, please, it's easy. It's Disney agenda.
Okay, and so
just by the way, what the heck? Do you know what I mean? It's like, what in the world? Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's like how in the world someone can be that kind of cruel and make experiments on children? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. So David Arquette, is he with any of the programs or with any of the corporations?
Yeah.
Which one?
He's working with Monarch.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. So this other individual, Ted Raimi, I think that's how you say his name.
Yeah.
I was looking at him, and he was in this show. He was in, some scary shows, but I'm assuming that he was in Monarch as well. But he was in this show called Sequest, and I was curious.
Yeah, he's working with Monarch too, but still, it's holy crap. It's when someone is doing experiments, but it isn't like teenagers as it was shown in the game, but children. That means, how can I say it? Like I don't know, from 1, 2 till 4, 5, I don't know, 6 years of age at the most. I mean, like, what in the world is wrong with you guys? Do you know what I mean?
So, the real camp that we're talking about, what location, where did this supposedly take place? They don't say.
This should be in Colorado, I think.
It should be what? Colorado?
In Colorado, yeah, I think.
Oh, that's interesting, because then Typhon came up too, didn't it?
Yeah. Hey, nothing is coincidence. You need to have this in your mind. You need to keep it on mind. Nope.
Right. I mean, so, and then they were much younger children than the show, because they thought it was probably going to be not appropriate, right? For
yeah, but I'm just saying, still, Disney program is shitty stuff. I mean,
So, well, anyhow, I got into this Sequest, and it was about some kind of civilization or a base under the ocean, built by NORPAC, military organized mission mentioned in the pilot. United Earth Oceans Organization. Is there any truth in this?
Yeah, but not here. In another planet.
Which planet?
Mars. Mars.
Mars? They have it underwater? They have oceans there?
I mean, in another reality, yes.
So it was like like underground, but maybe it wasn't related to water, but they were trying to hint.
Not like water, but they call it water because they start to make some sort of gases, and they start to make them, you know what I mean, like fluids.
But we don't have anything like that here underwater.
Nope.
Nope. Okay. All right. All right, so I'm gonna get into the shadow group, and we don't have anything on the shadow group other than the A team image, because we were putting together a page on it.
No, but technically, okay.
Maybe.
I think we should. Okay.
So
but
we're talking about.
Go ahead. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, we're just talking about the shadow group and the Martin Burke or John
Lynch, John Lynch.
Lynch.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so they talk
The
about Lynch
thing
over
is,
here.
the thing is, we've got, but the stuff is right that they made a big deal. I mean, I don't want to make hit into your onto your channel. So what the heck how should we do it? How should we do it? Jeez. How should we do it? How should we call it? Do you have any idea?
Just go for it, Peter, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's Patrick Wilson. My bad. It's Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, so we can call it. We can call. You can ride him. Yeah. No, you can ride him. Nope.
Nope, that's the wrong guy.
So
nope. Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, they made a big deal. They made a big deal here. Problem is, how can we avoid any problems? With who? Do you know what I'm trying to say?
the shadow group, yeah. But well, the shadow group is you avoiding trying. Are you avoiding trying to talk about the shadow group?
No, because it's not a big deal for me, but with who they made this deal. And it's about Ukraine, about new underground.
I see, yeah. Also, I could say it. So, supposedly the shadow group's also working with Hunter Biden, which is not a surprise. We'll say it like that.
If you want to go that way loud, it's fine.
Yeah, I appreciate you don't want me to have any issues here, but I mean, it's not a mystery about what Hunter Biden's doing around the world, and a lot of people are following him at this point.
Okay, so because I don't want to, let's say, make any pressure to you and make any problems, you know.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. And obviously you can't go into well, let's say this individual that's working with Lynch, what exactly are they? What's the deal that they're making?
New types, okay, or variants of, help me, can we say CVD?
Okay.
Okay. Then Western Nile fever, and then this, what they are, ape, I don't know how they are called them, ape, what
the monkeypox.
What? Monkeypox?
Yeah.
Monkeypox, yeah. So that, yeah, they are testing it. But just by the way, for Western Nile fever, it's almost 100% like death, like for mankind. Like you can't be cured. You can't.
When is this going to stop, Peter? That they stop
Because,
doing
for
what they're...
example, it's paradox. It's very big paradox that like domesticated animals, I'm sorry, small, right? Can't get it, like dogs or cats, right? They can't get it. They can't get it. Uh, Even I don't know, like poultry, no, but big one, uh, big domesticated, you know. So domesticated animals, that means cattle or or horses. They can. The chance for curing them, it's small, in between 5 to 10, sometimes 15%, depending on when, I mean, how fast you start to, you know what I mean, to cure them. But for people, there is no cure, simply. No.
So this is the depopulation part, right?
Pretty much, pretty much.
But are we going to be able to stop this? The ACIO, can they help us? To Council 5, somebody assist us with stopping some of this?
Yes, but the problem here is that they are doing all. I mean, not all, but most of those stuff. Because look, it's like they start to, because there was a deal between US and Russia, and they made those crazy stuff. I don't want to say but in dumps in Ukraine. Then the deal was went off and all kind of that stuff. But try to guess what happened. No, try to guess what happened. They moved all of the labs and scientific, you know, equipment to another dimension. Bam, and that's the problem. You know, Jesus.
So they're doing this from another dimensional reality?
I don't want to say reality. That's the problem, that it's so messed, it's so screwed up, that we even cannot differ what is what. I mean, what is timeline, what is reality, what is universe, dimension, megaverse, whatever. So let's say they are making it from in another context of existence, and they, I mean, I don't want to say 100%, but we in ACIO are almost sure that they, I mean, the shadow group are the ones who are maintaining this huge wormhole in quotes in quotes working shape. That means like yes, something can pass through here and there and here, but that's the problem. They open the passage, but in this passage, within this passage, many more things can, how can I say it, pass through. And this is it. Beings, creatures, piece of techniques, whatever, everything. You can't predict that, because that's it. It's like, how can I say it? You know, it's like engine, right? It's like, I mean, this wormhole. It's like you cannot turn it off, and once you are not turning it off, it is working it on quotes and quotes idle, right? And once it is working on idle, right, everything can move here and there and here and there, and that's the problem. That's the worst what can meet us. It's like, holy crap, that it's nightmare for us. Nightmare, literally nightmare. And then once they are like, okay, no, that shouldn't be quotes and quotes idle only. We will start to use it. Then they start to control certain passages, but still only very tiny little percentage of passages, because wormhole has a huge capacity. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you cannot use all the capacity. It's like, I don't know, like a car with a very powerful engine, and it doesn't make any sense to buy that, because on highway or on the motorway, you've got only like 70 or 80 miles per hour. So that means speed limit, that means 110 or 130 kilometers, and you will pay. I mean, the police will stop you, and you will pay speed ticket. What I'm trying to say, it is the same stuff. It doesn't make any sense. Jesus.
Just a little side note. You were talking about vehicles and everything moving. One of the things that these creatures are doing that came from the wormhole is they were consuming fossil fuels, not just drinking the blood of humans and animals, but also fossil fuels. Is that correct, Peter?
No, please. Yes, or and no, because some of them were 2-in-1s, another of them no, because another of them were completely, and I don't want to call them, give me a second, pen creatures, quotes in quotes, pen creatures, yes, fossil fuels, yes. And I was like, what? And they were like, do you know what I mean? Like, once you didn't drink for hours, and do you know what I mean? It was like, nah, this is like, you shouldn't. Once you will be in the table with society, do you know what I mean? We mean with friends, you will never drink like that, because it wasn't. Do you know what I mean? Like, once normal people should behave.
Yeah, very thirsty, very thirsty or hungry,
Yes.
or whatever was feeding them. And the other thing too, Peter, is when these things really came in pretty strongly, there's a lot of them came in. It's kind of like, I don't know if the gas prices were affected by that, or them saying that we did.
Don't laugh. This is serious. Hey, stop.
No, I'm not laughing about it. I'm just saying, look, I mean, it's more than a coincidence that these things have come in at this time where they're saying we can't use fossil fuels anymore. It's almost like, I mean, they would threaten humans and say, you better, everyone has to hands off. This is for us, or something like that. I mean,
pretty much.
Yeah. So, I mean, this whole thing of, going green and all that, which is, I agree in some way, but not the way that they're doing it. They're not doing it in an intelligent way, and they're not creating an infrastructure. But had they created an infrastructure, then I'd be less suspicious. But because they're saying everything has to stop immediately, and the way that they're initiating with the farmers.
Yes, because look. Infrastructure for fossil fuel, let's say, using cars, was built for 150 years, And how the heck
Yes.
you should build what, like in 10, 15, 20 years? Infrastructure for electric cars, it doesn't make any sense. You can't do it. You
Yeah.
can't.
You can't. You have to start. It has to be a gradual process or an integration where both are existing until you can fully release the other and reset everything. But that's intelligent, and realistic. And what they're doing is not realistic or intelligent.
Yeah.
But that's beyond the
And,
point.
last one, because we were talking about like that, and last ones, like group of creatures or whatever, or type of beings, are the ones, and I don't want to call them vampires or whatever, because they look normal, everything fine, and they don't have any weird ass shaped teeth, sharp teeth, or crazy, like excited you know eyes or whatever. But once they were quotes in quotes shifted, and no, definitely not shape shifted, but shifted into this weird mode, the skin tone changed into some sort of almost abnormal white. Also, let's say vitiligo white. You said that you've got vitiligo. Yeah, am I
I
right?
do. Yeah, like this. Yep. That's an example of it.
Yeah, even people from Africa, yeah, can have vitiligo. You can show maybe vitiligo. Yeah.
Yeah, I can show when if we get out of this and
I was
yeah,
kind of
because of I
surprised
don't know if people
because
could
you
see
never
it. A little
said.
bit on my hands. Yep, yep. It's not the
and
best thing to
and
have. It just showed up. Yeah.
yeah, and that was the thing. I was like, what in the world is that? Because those, I don't want to say people, because they are definitely not people. They are definitely not people. And then once they get quotes in quotes get thirsty, because they are thirsty for blood, definitely. And this is not like many people believe that they are thirsty for human blood, so like vampires, but for all kind of blood. And this is not like huge guy, like almost 7 feet or 7 feet tall guy, and like, I don't know, 220 or 300 pounds heavy guy. No, I saw on my own eyes small young girl, I mean woman. She was like 20, 22, and she was 5'3", so 160 centimeters tall, and 100 pounds, so 45 kilos, and she killed moose, male moose, barehanded. And she
But that's
started
one
to,
of these vampire creatures that she was
yes,
small. Yeah.
they've got goddamn crazy power. They are goddamn powerful, and she started to suck water out of him. She broke his neck, and I was like, what in the world is that? Holy crap.
So Peter, the vitiligo can be caused by thyroid issues, but also exposure to radiation. And I know that a lot of ETs have um, radiation and with their technology and from various places that they come from. So these beings might have been exposed to something in their entry into.
Yeah, but they were so crazy, but like they start to be like do you know what I mean? Like I can feel them. I can smile them, and they're like, "Holy crap! This is not looking good. This is not gonna end well, you know." And look, a huge male moose. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah, they're
he's
really,
not
really
that
big.
dangerous.
Yeah,
He's big. He's no
like
joke.
most an average female human would not be able to take down a moose with the bare hands.
And she was small, really small, and I was like, "What in the world is that?" Jesus. And that's the stuff. What do you think? No, no, sorry. I mean, I was laughing. Let's say desperate slash anxious laugh. That was desperate slash anxious laugh.
Know
Okay,
that.
let's be serious about this. What do you think? We know that they are getting, and not only they, but some sort of piece of tech. I mean, technology and whatever. But what do you think? Why? Why right here, right now? What's the possible reason from your point of view?
And like I said, my theory is that some it's mostly CERN and opening up of these portals, and
Please,
then other
please, sorry, please. We know how. Please, we know how. Through what? But my question is why they are choosing those beings are choosing exactly this planet. That's my question, because I highly doubt that they will be just randomly. From my point of view, can it be the connection, like there will be some sort of periods of time or whatever? Do you know what I mean?
I think that someone has galactically is scheduling, or there's a few nefarious galactics that are scheduling the human race to be, whether you want to say depopulated or to see a collapse in the civilization. And so
Mm-hmm.
then they're bringing in these predatory type of beings to come in, like like the cannibal concept, or
But just
something.
by the way, sorry for interrupting you. CERN is very good point, because they started to make experiments on CERN. Sorry, in CERN. What, like May this year?
Yeah,
In
yeah,
the
and it was about the
mid
same
May
time
this
when it
year.
happened. Yeah, that's when they came through. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So you are saying that they are simply, whoever they are quotes in quotes destined to be here or whatever, or I don't know, because I don't want to be like dummy here, but I really don't know about everything of this. I mean, I heard certain names or whatever words, but it's kind of, let's say, fringe field for me, and it's kind of dangerous because people, do you know what? We made survey, anonymous survey, right? And people are in fear, to be perfectly honest with you, and all around the world, because they don't want to get out of their houses alone, especially after the sunset or whatever, and before sunrise, especially. And I'm like, what in the world? I mean, of course, it's normal, because there are, or there can be criminals. It always was, it is, and it will be like that. But still,
Predators.
those
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
It's because our world has become more predatory, and I think that they're sending more predators here to deal with the problems because of the so many different problems in their some interest. Maybe they want the resources of the earth, but maybe humans are in the way. I think this is a bigger issue, and so they're coming in through bleed throughs, and we suggested CERN, but the corporations have been doing things all along that we don't even know about. Like, it's not like CERN, they're advertising, they're letting people know in the news that they're doing this, but the corporations will never know all their little experimental projects or grand experimental projects.
Yes, definitely, because they are, that's their problem, because they are corporations. That means that they are that huge that they simply can't control every single little thing, as you said, thingy thing, as you said, exactly.
It takes one
Do
experiment that
you know
goes
what?
wrong.
Do you know what? I will say you something. I mean, let's say I will give you, and this is it, but it really happened. Bizarre example about what is it? It was now it's Lenovo, IBM. Once it was IBM. They made. I mean, sorry. Journalists was up to make some bizarre experiment, and they invented, people in some office invented some sort of, let's say, okay, this will be easy maker solution, but nobody wants to even talk with those guys in this office, because they were just quote unquote juniors. So they were working in corporations for just a few months, right? And try to guess what happened. They started to get this solution all around the world, and those journalists, they track it all the way down, and it take more than one crazy year once it came to one building, the same building, to the upper management, and they were like, oh, which kind of brilliant solution, who made this, which kind of idea was that? And that's exactly the example what is characteristic of huge corporation, at least my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it works. It's they're doing all sorts of different things, and it takes one experiment that goes bad and it's too late. And so we're having like a lot of these incidences happening, and it's become a bigger problem. But I wanted to get back into the shadow group because
Sorry, my bad.
I had some friends that I knew, some people that were in Florida, and they said that they really weren't feeling well or whatever, and so I was looking at it, and all of a sudden, in my third eye, I could see clearly that there was some kind of, like, it almost looked like a nuclear blast or something had happened there. And I said, something happened there that was really terrible, and it was almost like, I don't know if it was supposed to be in the future or whatever. And then I saw that it was the shadow group had done that, or they were planning on doing that to Florida. And then I saw another day, I talked to them, and then I saw that they went back into 1972 and were screwing around in there. And then another day I went back and saw that they were in 1982 were there. And then recently I saw them in 1969 in going back in time and messing around with things.
Why 69?
The thing that I looked at, I thought was quite interesting is, I'm going to do a shared screen again.
Okay, fine.
Something that I looked at was that, let's see if we have it here.
Okay.
Nope, that's the Bigfoot. And 50 Things That Shaped Our World in 1969. And I was looking at, I mean, there's a parallel. There's the things about what happened. Look at Pierre Trudeau was prime minister, which was the father of Justin Trudeau. Woodstock, and let's see. There was like, I think the Vietnam War was going on, and we have, you know, the thing in Ukraine going on right now. It was like a sort of felt like a parallel. A lot of events happened regarding the races, like, you know, like blacks versus white. Then there was male and female kind of struggling, and a lot of that was going on during that time as well. Something here, Project Blue Book, investigation of UFOs. There was quite a few parallels that I started to see, and famous things that happened at that time period. But what I thought is the things that they're bringing into our reality right now is something that they brought in through those time periods that we were looking at. So you brought up Montauk happened, and which year was it that they tried to do something? Was it 72? Or 80?
Give me a second. Yes, but it's half step, because pretty much we've got one step is one step for time travel is 20 years, but half step is 10 years. Yeah.
So they've been very active.
72 plus 10, easy math. Yep.
1982.
Yeah.
And so that would, I think that we should talk more further about what happened in Montauk, the next show.
Yes, we know.
But so now I think we're looking at that the Shadow Group was involved in some of these projects, and also world events that they seem to be replicating similar type of events, which is humanity fighting against each other, and also space programs too, because during our time period now, you know, we had like you know, that a lot of people are getting involved in the space programs, not just governments, but although a lot of governments are involved now, but they were back then as well. But even corporations are coming out saying that they're involved, and that is like, you know, what happened with Elon Musk and the guy from Virgin, and you know, the other guy from Amazon, you know, having their own flights into space. So there's just a lot of parallels, and so this would be, if you would call it, the modus operandi of what they would typically do, and they just kept bringing it in, trying to use distractions to create problems. You know, for here you see the baseball teams and TV show Sesame Street, which was used a lot for manipulating or re-educating children for different things.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah, so you know, of course, the stock market was another thing that they mess with during these times, like kind of like the stock exchange issues and issues regarding like crashes, like what happened in 1929 or 27, is it? So anyhow, but I think maybe it might be interesting to get into Montauk. And just one last thing I wanted to bring up, Peter, is that the guy, John Lynch, was also in this movie called Moonfall, and that is also
that's true. That's true.
Patrick Wilson, and that is another dystopian type of show. And here again, you know, it's attacking. You saw that there was, I think there's some article earlier where it looked like something was attacking the moon. So, you know, trying to initiate a problem. Like I said, the corporation does something, and then before you know it, it's too late. And so, and then, you know, you try to warn people, but then it's like nobody's listening. And I could totally relate to that scenario that was going on in this movie. You're trying to forewarn people and let them know that there is an issue, and we don't want to wait too long. You know, here's this individual, he's trying to let everyone know. But you know, I guess that's it, Peter, unless you have anything else that you want to talk about for today.
Oh, I think it's fine. What do you think? From this point of view, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine too. And I just want to say thank you for joining us today, Peter, and bringing some information in about what's going on. And I would definitely like to talk more about Montauk going forward, and keeping us updated with whatever else is happening.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, big thank you for giving me another opportunity to be on your channel, and thank you for all of our regular, maybe not so regular listeners, for their patience and stay with us. And I'm looking forward for next time. Hold tight. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. Thank you very much, everyone. Continue to support and assist wherever you can, and we appreciate you very much. Also, for those that are not familiar with us, you know, welcome to the channel. And we don't talk about the average topics, so be open-minded. Do your research. We'll provide the links. You can take a look at whatever we have, and we'll continue sharing as we can. Have a good day.
You have been listening to the Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Marrocco. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Visit www.acio-agency.org and www.readingsbyarael.com. Post your questions and comments below. We look forward to hearing from you. Feel free to support our work. All links can be found in the description. Thank you.